there's a show that I did a couple of times. Once, I don't know, they cut it up into multiple episodes, so technically a couple times, but I only had to film once. This was Comics Unleashed. Byron Allen has a show. And I've said many times, excuse me, this is one of the most leashed versions of comedy you can fucking do, because you have to write out your bits and tell them exactly what you're going to say, and they need to know the sentence when you're over. It's so contrived and cartoonishly square and annoying, but and they pay shit, and Byron Allen just prints money. It's hilarious off of other people's material. Literally, I remember it was one of the few times where you realize you're just basically feathering someone else's nest. They just like, it's like when you do a commercial, and comedians run into this all the time. If you get hired to do a commercial, they always go, have fun with it. What they mean is, write something for us. Write a funnier line that we can use. And since you made it up while you were hired, then it's technically ours. Basically, Byron Allen builds his shows on that. It's horrifying. Stop it. Byron, you seem like a nice enough guy. Don't. If you're going to have a show called Comics Unleashed, let a comedian host it, like a real touring comic. I don't know what Byron thinks he is these days. Mogul, sure. And then let it be a back and forth so that it's funny. Because it's not. Anyway, so when I see a show called Unfiltered, my antenna go up. And Dan Bongino, the host of this show, is always complaining that he's almost ready to swear. I wish I could say what I wanted to say. Like, well, they don't call the show Unfiltered, fucknut. So my show's Unfiltered. See how that works? All right. Now, this one, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Dan Bongino, Biden keeps winning the lucky lottery. Because is he going like, Teflon Biden? Is that the theory? Okay.
Biden's the worst president in U.S. history. I think we already agree on that. Everybody's got to agree on that. I mean, fucking infrastructure. Why won't he leave the lead pipes in the ground? Who the fuck wants broadband out in the fucking sticks? What do we want a bunch of rednecks to be able to, like, get jobs and grow and become, like, tech moguls in the future from a fucking house in Montana? Like, get the fuck out of there, you redneck bastards. Already know that, but
no, we don't.
Guess what? He is easily the luckiest, too. I'm going to break it down for you. This guy's been politically rescued again and again and again for decades.
He's breaking it down for us. Break it down for us. Break it down. He's not going to break it down like that.
And now he's hoping Americans fall for the grift again. Don't miss my monologue in this and how Biden...
I'm already over it. And what do you mean, don't miss your monologue? Is this your teaser before the graphic? You really have to talk people into staying for your show?
He keeps winning the lucky lottery. It's eerie. And speaking of hot takes, Nancy Pelosi's grip on power is finally, thankfully, coming to an end. As Republicans take control, we take...
She's 80.
A little trip down memory lane for some of Nancy's greatest hits. Plus, a crypto exchange...
Greatest what? Sorry? I didn't hear that.
...goes belly up. But not...
A crypto exchange goes belly up.
Before its boss donated millions to top Democrats. And
millions. He lost like $17 billion, but because he donated millions. By the way, it's because Republicans are all in on crypto. They want it deregulated and they don't want any controls on it. They just want it to let its freak flag fly. Meanwhile, Democrats lean towards regulation. So this dude was literally trying to lobby Democrats to go easy on the regulations. He knew where he was spending his money. It wasn't because he likes Democrats necessarily, although he lived in an island apartment with his nerdy girlfriend and their 17 polyamorous friends or whatever the shit, like millionaire doofus crypto idiots would.
And then lost billions in customer funds.
Customer funds. They lost billions in customer funds. No, he didn't. It was a shit investment to start with. It was stupid. You guys got fucking handed your ass because you handed someone your ass.
So how does this keep happening, and how deep does this corruption go? Also,
yeah, let's hear about it. You mean crypto in general?
So, we warned you about this, folks.
Uh-oh.
The FBI's use of a controversial spyware program known as Pegasus set off alarms with me. Could they be using it to track you? I warned you about it.
No.
The FBI whistleblowers here on how the Bureau
is Flirting with Tyranny. Plus, this week,
Flirting with Tyranny, which is I have to say, one of the edgier Hallmark movies.
the Fox Nation Patriot Awards happened. We honored heroes. But there's a lot you didn't see.
Thank God. I missed you taking some of these sweet honeys home.
Like me, I met up with some true patriots and, of course, familiar faces at the awards. And
Hey, we're just standing here. Look at this. We're video, and you're there, and I'm here. Look at this. Isn't that great? This is so cool. That's flag stuff. And here we are. And then it was like, I feel like I know what it was like.
asked them about the Democrats' fantasy land. It's hilarious. Don't miss it. Folks, listen, Joe Biden is the luckiest politician in the history of American politics. There's not even a close second. There's no silver medalist.
Well, he did beat, I guess, technically the unluckiest politician. Donald Trump was only unlucky in one area, just one, being born himself.
How else would you explain the biggest political grifter of all time dodging the equivalent of a political nuclear blast, not once, not twice, but basically every couple of years?
Oh, you mean like a pussy grabbing tape or, 17 credible sexual assault victims coming forward, one being a 13-year-old girl, that kind of stuff? Or
As always, I'm here to prove it to you. I don't just make stuff up.
Yeah, let's do it. You don't just make stuff up. This stuff's unfiltered.
When Joe Biden ran for president in 1988, he was the same old dog with the same old awful tricks back then. The same tricks we're seeing now. Biden was caught then plagiarizing parts of his speeches. Here's the thing, almost word for word. They weren't even clever about it from the Kennedy brothers' speeches from the 60s.
Oh, by the way, unless you're going to say he did it again and didn't learn his lesson as a young politician, then this doesn't apply.
You can't make this up.
Sure you can.
It cannot measure the health of our children, the quality of our education, the joy of their play.
Yet the gross national product does not allow for the health of our children, the quality of their education, or the joy of their play.
By the way, some of that stuff was directly quoted from a Catholic priest that they all listened to, because they're all Catholics. The Kennedys were Catholics, he's Catholic, that kind of stuff. Hold on. And...
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
My parents impressed on me the values that you work hard for what you want in life, that your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect, even if you don't know them and even if you don't agree with them.
That you treat people with respect. They taught and showed me values and morals in their daily life. That is a lesson that I continue to pass along to our son. And we need to pass those lessons on to the many generations to follow.
And Barack and I...
Guys, you can't... Hold on 1 second. I have to do this. Where are we? Hold on. Guys, you can't even make this stuff up. You can't get... I don't make this stuff up. You guys don't make this stuff up. Come on now. I'm Joe Brogan.
Set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because...
Yes, she did do it better than you. So thanks for those people for applauding.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Let us play.
Guys, you can't even make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Biden was doing this back.
Before we begin,
shut up. Biden was doing this back in 1987, and it took Melania like fucking 30 years.
Pledge that our generation of Americans will pay any price, bear any burden, accept any challenge, and meet any hardship to secure the blessings of prosperity and the promise of opportunity for our children.
Yeah, never mind the fact that that was a well-known quote and that you shouldn't even have to tell people it came from that. There's no excuse, right?
We shall pay any price,
Right.
bear any burden.
That was the point of quoting it, by the way. He didn't get busted for that one. Because everybody's like, everybody knows he's referencing it. Like, if you came out and went, it's a dream we all share, a dream where, that I have and everyone has. Like,
Meet any
I have a dream today.
hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
Again, this is 1987, right?
You know the best part about that whole thing? He didn't plagiarize a speech from like Joey Bag of Donuts. He plagiarized it from the president of the United States at the time, as if no one was going to know. But he
It was, by the way, I don't know if you guys don't know this, but Kennedy was dead in 1987. He was not the president at the time.
did it again in 1988. He plagiarized during his days in law school, too. Everybody.
No, he didn't. Joe Biden wasn't in law school in 1987.
But he's stunned, I'm sure. The guy.
That's from the same time period, stupid. Jesus Christ. The reading comprehension, it's like somebody put his fucking head in a vice.
Keeps doing the same thing over and over. He keeps getting rescued. Here's
No, this was the same incident.
another shocker, right? When he ran for president in 2020, his campaign, quote, lifted language from other groups for their policy plans. Yeah, it's called plagiary. Old dog.
It's called plagiary?
Old tricks.
Plagiary.
Has this guy ever had an original idea in his life? Oh, wait, check that. Don't give him any more ideas. Of course, listen, you know how.
Yeah, no, we were with you. I like the aside. I didn't know what, just because you don't want him to think up anything, because what he's thought up that he hasn't thought up is already too much to be thought of.
The story goes, right? So Biden dropped out of that 1988 race. And as luck would have it, in 2008, Barack Obama takes a lifeline. Joe, catch the lifeline. I got you, buddy. And he rescues this plagiarist and grifter by throwing him this lifeline and unbelievably putting him on the Democrat ticket, getting Joe Biden back into the spotlight. Here's what Obama was likely figuring.
Also, that's not luck or a rescue. That was to help him with a specific group of white working class voters and Catholics who are pro-choice but pro-life. That was strategically really fucking smart. And you can tell because they got elected and re-elected.
He didn't want someone to take away any of his steam inside the White House, so he figured, get the plagiarist and the grifter, people will ignore him. Never thinking he'd actually run for office again. Joe Biden, the luckiest politician easily in the history of American politics.
By the way, he was a senator who'd been reelected multiple times. He knew the Senate backwards and forwards. He was actually good at his job.
So let's fast forward to the 2020 Democratic primary.
All right. Just because he actually runs and wins in these particular situations. And by the way, he was a bit lucky to be running against Donald Trump, who's a massive fuck up and totally gross.
Right? Biden was getting wrecked in the polls. Wrecked. It looked like it
No, he wasn't.
was over for Joey B.
No, it didn't.
But Captain Lucky's back again. The Democrats are ready to give Joe the boot. But as luck would have it, what happens?
He had relationships that were deeper than politics, and friendships that were more long-lasting, and trust that he built over decades, and it paid off. It beat all the people who were just building an image on the fly because he had one that people stood by, and that's why Clyburn liked him so much.
Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina steps up to the plate, batter up, kids, and endorses him.
Yeah, not because of grift, not because of graft, not because he had to, but because he actually believed in him. That's what changed. And by the way, that Clyburn, knew his constituents liked Biden the best. And the fact that like Trump and others thought they were going to run, against Biden because of the crime bill. They were going to use the crime bill as leverage against him, when indeed, like black mayors and the Congressional Black Caucus, as it existed at the time, was for the crime bill at the time. There's that these communities are a lot more realistic than people give them credit for.
And he saved the grifter and plagiarist again. And just like that, Biden surged to the nomination.
What I was trying to do with my speech was to create a surge.
You gave Biden's campaign new life, and if it were not for you, I don't think he would have gotten the nomination.
Oh, well, if Jake Tapper says it, then Fox believes it.
Those moments when this campaign was at its lowest ebb, the African-American community stood up again for me.
It's true. They did. Because he knew he would stand up for them.
Folks, listen, don't take my word for it. Even the liberal bootlickers in the media said Clyburn's endorsement rescued Biden's disastrous run. So first, Obama rescued.
First of all, it wasn't a disastrous run at all. It was the timing of it, because they knew he would not, that the caucuses would be rigged one direction because of Bernie really fighting for that to try and get the first lift. And then some of the new blood was fighting for like, okay, maybe if I can nail down like 3 states. They were fighting that kind of thing. And Biden was fighting the long game of this. That he knew if he secured a huge chunk of the black vote because they trusted him, that he would be able to also secure the white working class Dems to feel safe around him. And that coalition would be bigger than anybody else's. And it was. Like I said it would be.
Used Biden from the political wasteland in 2008. Then Clyburn goes and rescues him again in 2020. Again, Joe Biden is the single luckiest politician in the history of politics.
You left out the fact that he got to run against Donald Trump, who was a skeevy, disgusting old fart.
No one has ever had it easier than this guy. He fails and people.
His wife and daughter were killed in a car accident, and his boys were in the hospital when he was sworn in for his first job as a congressman. He took a train to and from Washington until they graduated fucking high school because he didn't want to be away from his kids because their mother had fucking died. Why don't you bring that luck up, you prick? Like, at a certain point, piss off. Hey, Dan, you chintzy piece of shit. Why don't you bring up the fact that his wife and daughter were killed in a fucking car accident, that his son got fucking brain cancer from being near a burn pit in fucking Iraq? Why don't you stack that with your fucking luck? The luckiest guy in politics. Jesus Christ. Part of the appeal of Joe Biden for a lot of voters is that he's gotten it in the gut harder than so many other people, and he's managed to stay positive and try to stay in public service, and he's actually made something of himself. When he would have had every excuse in the world to crawl in a fucking hole and like work a menial job and stay away from everybody.
We'll save him. But he still needed to win the presidency. So in 2020, his scandal-ridden son with a drug issue, Hunter Biden, also known as the smartest guy Joe knows.
He's made more money than you'll ever make in your life, Bongholio. And in all fairness, Hunter never started a social media company and then used the demo version of a software for its security and was responsible for the single largest dump of user information in tech history.
More on that later, by the way. He had
no doubt.
This laptop hard drive.
A laptop hard drive. That's interesting. where did did the hard drive come out of the laptop? Where did this hard drive come from?
And some of the stuff on there was not safe for 9 o'clock TV on Saturday.
Okay, you mean it's not safe for Unfiltered? Again, can this motherfucker do a show once? One episode of Unfiltered where he doesn't complain about how filtered the fucking thing is. Jesus Christ.
Saturday night. And the FBI was investigating, so someone had to rescue Joe yet again.
Twitter facing criticism after limiting the reach of a New York Post story about alleged smoking gun emails showing Hunter Biden introducing his father to a Ukrainian businessman.
This time, social media outlets were quick to limit the spread of the story.
And by the way, it was the Streisand effect. It actually drew more attention to it. Nobody was denied this story. The New York Post site didn't come down. And by the way, the Post story turned out to be bullshit. But the idea was flood it, 6 weeks of bullshit right before the election as an October surprise. That'll get us through. And by the time people find out it was bullshit, they've already made their decision. That's why the moratorium on political, snipe issues leading up to it, because it's so easy to do now, especially for people who want to, foreign countries who want to interfere in our elections.
Twitter briefly suspending the accounts of the Trump campaign and White House press secretary after they tried to share it.
So after Biden wins,
Washington Post joins New York Times in finally admitting emails from Hunter Biden laptop are real. Also a bullshit story. New York Times story. I covered the Washington Post when it came out. You'll see the floating bullshit picture around. I went through it paragraph by paragraph. No, they did not, by the way. That headline is a lie.
Media outlets like the Washington Post and New York Times finally admit, oh, yeah, those Hunter Biden emails and the laptop, oh, yeah, they were definitely legit. Little late.
Nope.
Fellas.
No, they don't. Read the article.
No, we said after the election. That's kind of important. But the damage, folks, it was already done, okay?
Well, here's the other thing. Hold on, wait.
In fact, polls show one in...
Yeah, this is the thing that Trump cites all the time. That 17% would, had they known about what was on the laptop, they would have changed their mind, whatever.
6 Biden voters, they would have changed their vote had they known about Biden's family scandals. So
yeah, a Federalist poll. Nonsense.
Biden had to be rescued yet again. And who comes up big out of the bullpen? Don't worry, big tech. Because Joe Biden is the luckiest politician in American history.
Okay, so it's lucky. It's not the Biden crime family. He's just got a leprechaun.
So what's his next act, Biden? Well, he's already let down Gen Z voters.
Has he?
Who came to their rescue again in the midterms. They did. Joe's final pitch was, vote for us, don't worry. We'll pay off your student loans and stuff and codify Roe v. Wade. We've got you. But that didn't turn out so well either. Even Joe admits the Dems aren't going to be able to get the votes together.
Yeah, that wouldn't stop some pro-choice Republicans from coming over and voting for it. It's just they have to deal with the fact that it is now a partisan issue to codify Roe v. Wade.
To codify Roe v. Wade.
Right.
Or codify abortion. It's not going to happen.
You don't codify abortion. You codify medical privacy for women.
And I'll tell you what, it ain't looking good either for the student loan promise. Not only have the courts called the bailout illegal, but the Biden administration may extend the student loan payment pause. No matter how bad this guy performed.
Demise of student loan handout rocks Twitter. Its only purpose was to buy votes. Gabriel, that's their article. That's your site, fuckhead.
Folks. Did you ever notice this? It's never his fault. And his luck would have it, the media is coming to his rescue by actively promoting and failing to push back on the lies that the midterms were some historic success for Biden. How is that?
Well, because in most midterms, the first-term president loses a shit ton of seats. And not only did they not lose the Senate, and they're going to have it by 51 because Warnock's going to fucking win in December. But, and like I said, the lead the Republicans have in the House will not last. But that said, you were supposed to take it, man. It was a red wave. Remember red wave, red tsunami? I mean, hold on one second. I don't think, though, hold on. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see. Well, we'll just do this. Hold on.
Now, I can't say for sure where the rumors of the red tsunami started because polls in almost every key race were within the margin of error.
Yeah, that's after.
Red wave rising. That is the focus of tonight's angle.
It's going to be a wave election, and you're going to lose the Senate, and I'll bet you $1,000 right now.
The knives are being sharpened right now for Joe Biden.
You know, Democrats are going to get crushed on November 8th because a red wave is coming.
But I'm betting that Joy will learn 2 new words on Tuesday. It's red wave.
How big could that looming red wave get?
We begin this Sunday morning with expectations of a red wave this Tuesday.
I think this election is going to be a red wave. I think we're going to win.
You know what? I think, your predictions of a red wave are accurate. And the reason I say that is because now even the mainstream media is catching up.
We've been hearing, is it going to be a red wave? Is it going to be a red tsunami? I think it's going to be a red hurricane.
By the way, Mark Thiessen's jumping all over the Hunter Biden laptop story as well, because it's a great way to hide your fuck up around the red wave.
Red wave comes, and it is coming. Joe Biden's political utility is over.
Are we in for a red win here or a red wave?
Red wave or red tsunami? What are you feeling today?
I'm feeling red wave.
And don't listen to the lies they're spewing that this could take days, to know who.
Or days.
Won. This is total BS. A wave like this, we should know that night, basically.
That night, folks.
Basically, who won the Senate and the House. Anything that happens Wednesday into Thursday is gravy.
And right out the
gravy. I agree. Like Katie Porter.
back door, I've got a tropical storm brewing right now. I think they're saying could be a Category 1 by the end of the day. However, let me tell you what is a storm, that red wave. I'm telling you, if there's any indication based upon what we're seeing this morning, somebody made a surfboard, said the red wave is coming.
Well, a surfboard, then fuck me. That's all you need. There's got to be, hold on. We got to find, hold on. 1 second. See, I do a short thing. Let's see. Where are you? Bongholio. Where are you? Come out, wherever you are. Counselor. Oh, it's probably on Rumble. Fuck. Never mind.
They're calling them a win for him and the Democrats.
Yeah. Yeah. He literally has the best numbers since Kennedy. Remember the guy he plagiarized?
It's enormously significant. Historically, this is something no president's done since John F. Kennedy.
Yeah. Here you go, Bongino. Add this to your pile. He's plagiarizing wins from Kennedy.
Hold Senate seats and potentially even go up 1 Senate seat.
President Biden has been a great president for our country. He has accomplished so much. He has just done so many things that are so great.
Obviously, these midterms didn't go well for Republicans. Obviously, it was good for the Biden administration.
Who was the winner? It was Joe Biden. Let's not forget, every single person he endorsed, almost every single person won.
He lost the House.
Yeah, by 2 votes, fucko, because of redistricting in New York and Florida. Without that, he'd have kept it. Don't be lazy about this. Just take the L, you fucking chump.
I don't understand what this guy did. All right, it wasn't the...
I don't know what he kept the fucking Senate. It's what he did, dummy. So all of his judges, including a possible Supreme Court seat, can go through. Not only... They gained a fucking seat. They're going to go from 50 to 51. He's still going to have Warnock. I guarantee it. So, voting power won't change all that much. And the Republicans, in the Senate especially, will deal with the fact that they've got to do some bipartisan shit or they're not going to get reelected.
Greatest election for Republicans, point stipulated. But what did Biden do?
His policies, largely, they had shit to run on, like the infrastructure bill, like the rescue package, like getting lead pipes out in rural broadband.
He sat in
the CHIPS Act
basement again, visited a couple states here and there, and many of the candidates avoided this guy like they avoided the plague or something.
It's nice that he has a grasp of standard analogies.
So in closing, Obama...
Oh, please, thank you. That's the nicest thing he said in this whole thing.
Rescued Biden.
Obama didn't rescue Biden. He was a sitting senator. He was doing just fine.
Clyburn rescued Biden.
No, he didn't. He gave him an endorsement. It was very meaningful, but Clyburn's own voters were already with Biden. He just gave him the go-ahead.
Big tech rescued Biden.
No, they didn't. You had an attempted October surprise that failed.
Media rescued Biden. Folks, it's no wonder. Joe Biden.
He wraps this up because it's like a little essay. I'm just going to end it with the thing that I say at the beginning. Joe Biden is the luckiest politician in the history of America. Thank you, teacher. Get A.
Is the luckiest politician and the biggest grifter in political history, no doubt.
Well, for the record, if you're going to talk about grifting, one of the things that's crucial about grifting, dipshit, is that you have to run on something and then not do it. Biden ran on getting us out of Afghanistan. We're out of Afghanistan. By hook or by crook, we're fucking gone. And Trump has admitted since he lost that he was never going to get out anyways. We're going to keep Bagram. Biden passed the first infrastructure bill in 26 fucking years. The biggest single leap forward in internet since they turned it loose. Just the removal of lead pipes from water systems and the ventilation on schools and the like restructuring of those buildings will save children's lives for decades. So fuck off. And the rescue package alone was the biggest rescue package in American history. Also, again, gas prices keep coming down, inflation's coming down, and it has nothing to do, it's not inflation, it's supply shock, and that's partly out of their hands. But part of it is bringing the supply chains home. The CHIPS Act alone, and CHIP, is the single biggest technological flag in the ground that America has had since steel, since America commanded the steel market in the early 19th century.
Period.
20th century.
Cherry on top.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
Period. Cherry. What?
In political history, no doubt. Period. Cherry on top.
Hey.
Okay. Nobody says cherry on top after the word period. Second, nobody says no doubt. Period. Cherry on top. I don't even understand that the language there. But I mean, honestly, do we any of us know what he actually said? Because it was so heavily filtered.